Hello, everyone, and welcome to MediWorld, your trusted place for simple and reliable health and medical information.
Subscribe to MediWorld and stay informed, stay healthy, and make sure to tell all your friends to join too.
All right, today we're going to take a guided tour of the most incredible piece of machinery you will ever own. Seriously, it works tirelessly 24/7 from before you were even born until your very last moment. We are talking about your body's engine. So let's dive in and explore the powerful system that keeps you running every single second of the day.
So, to kick things off, let me ask you a question. Just think about it for a second. What is the single hardest working muscle in your entire body? Maybe you're thinking it's your quads when you're doing a really tough workout, or maybe your brain when you're cramming for a test. Well, whatever you're thinking, the real answer is probably way more impressive.
You see, the answer isn't a name, it's a number. 100,000. That's roughly how many times your heart beats every single day. It's this relentless, powerful muscle that literally never gets a day off. In fact, the energy it puts out in just one day is enough to drive a truck about 20 miles. Think about that. It does that day in and day out.
Now, that incredible pump is the centerpiece of what we're going to explore today, the cardiovascular system. And look, if the heart is the engine, then you can think of this system as the body's ultimate delivery service, a massive, intricate network that's all about transport and communication.
So what is it exactly? Well, at its core, the whole system is elegantly simple. It's really made of just two primary parts. You've got the heart, that powerful muscular pump we talked about, and then you have this vast network of vessels. Think of them like roads and highways that carry blood everywhere it needs to go.
So let's start our tour with the engine itself. We're going to go right inside this amazing four-chamber pump to see exactly how it manages to do its non-stop job with such, well, mind-boggling efficiency.
You know, the brilliant thing about the heart's design is that it's basically two pumps working right next to each other. The right side's job is to take in all the used-up, oxygen-poor blood from the body and then send it on a quick trip over to the lungs for a refill. At the very same time, the left side receives that freshly oxygenated blood from the lungs and gives it a huge, powerful push out to the entire body. It's just a perfect division of labor. Okay, so with all this blood moving around, how does the heart keep it all from becoming a total traffic jam? Well, the secret is in its valves. There are 4 of them, and they act like perfect little one-way doors. They swing open to let blood flow through, and then they snap shut to stop any of it from flowing backward. It's this simple, brilliant design that makes the entire system work so smoothly. All right, so the heart provides all the power, but where does the blood actually go? Well, that brings us to the vascular highway network. And get this, if you were to lay out all of these vessels from your body end to end, they would circle the Earth more than twice. It's this incredibly intricate web of tubes that has to reach every single cell in your body.
Now, this highway system has 3 main types of roads. First up, you've got the arteries. These are the major freeways, carrying that high-pressure blood away from the heart. Then you have the veins, which are kind of like the return routes, bringing all that blood back home. And finally, and this is maybe the most important part, you have the capillaries. Think of these as the tiny little local streets where all the real action happens, where oxygen gets dropped off to the cells and all the waste products get picked up for removal.
Okay, so now we know the parts, right? We've got the pump and we've got the pipes. Let's put it all together. Because the entire journey of blood isn't just one big loop. It's actually more like a tale of 2 very distinct but interconnected circuits. Blood travels in this really elegant figure-8 pattern, with the heart sitting right there at the crossover point. That first, smaller loop, that's the pulmonary circuit. It's just a short trip from the heart over to the lungs to grab a bunch of oxygen and then right back to the heart. The second, much larger loop is the systemic circuit. This is the grand tour, where that fresh oxygen-rich blood gets pumped from the heart out to the entire body, your brain, your toes, you name it, before it comes back to start the whole cycle over again.
So we've seen how the engine works, but how do we check the dashboard? How do we know if everything's running okay? Well, let's talk about the vital signs that we use to monitor the health and performance of this incredible system.
You know, the most basic check is just your heart rate. It's simply the number of times your heart beats in 1 minute. For most adults who are just sitting around relaxing, a normal rate is somewhere between 60 and 100 beats per minute. It's a fantastic, immediate clue about your heart's efficiency and even your overall fitness.
Now, every single one of those heartbeats is what we call a cardiac cycle. And each one of these cycles has 2 key phases. There's a powerful contraction phase, called systole, where blood is pushed out, and then there's a relaxation phase, diastole, where the chambers fill back up.
And understanding this simple squeeze and release cycle is the key to understanding blood pressure.
So whenever you get your blood pressure checked, you always get two numbers, right? Something like 120/80. Here's what that actually means. The top number, the systolic pressure, that's the pressure during that powerful contraction phase. Imagine the heart squeezing like a fist. The bottom number, the diastolic, is the pressure when your heart relaxes and refills, like that fist opening back up. And together, those two numbers give you a crucial snapshot of the force happening inside your vascular highways.
So let's zoom out for a second. Why does any of this matter? Well, because this system is, and I mean this quite literally, your lifeline. It's what transports oxygen to your muscles, what delivers nutrients to your cells, what removes toxic waste. It supports every single thing that keeps you alive and moving. It is, without a doubt, the foundation of your health.
And that really brings our tour to a close. We've seen the pump, we've seen the highways, and we've seen the vital cargo that it carries. Every day, your heart beats over 100,000 times without you even having to think about it. It works nonstop, for you. So the final question is a simple one. What are you going to do for it today?